What would you say are three ingredients for a happy and harmonious family?
Well, I think the first ingredient would be developing and practicing empathy. Okay. So I am in the DISC behavioral model, a high S style. I'm patient, I'm loyal, I'm steady, and my focus is on people. And I tend to have a very well developed empathy virtue. Okay. And it just comes naturally to me. Okay. And one of my values, what I value is I'm very altruistic. So, I want to save the planet and I want to save everything on it. And I'm very, very heartfelt. So empathy comes naturally to me. Whereas some other styles, it's still underdeveloped within them. And so what I highly recommend is you really get clear on what the definition of empathy is. It's really, for me, empathy is about being able to understand where another person is coming from. And what I mean by that is it's really understanding what they're feeling, what they're thinking, so you can really experience the essence of what's going on for them in that moment with compassion. Okay, it's about compassionately listening without having to make a judgment about them, about the situation, about you. And it's just becoming more mindful and slowing yourself down and being empathetic, listening with compassion before responding. That is the first ingredient for creating harmony in the family. The second ingredient, I would say forgiveness. I don't know how many times as a parent over the years I've had to forgive my children, forgive myself, forgive my husband, forgive my sister. There's been many, many times over the years that I've had to have forgiveness. I call them forgiveness conversations, like with myself up here or with the other person. But it sometimes takes a bit of courage to forgive. Mm-hmm. And it also takes trusting that everything is going to be okay. And Sandra, forgive yourself. I know you said that in the heat of the moment and you didn't mean it. So go back to the person, apologize and say, would you please forgive me? You say that to your 17-year-old who's just had a meltdown and you've been screaming at them. You have to take a moment to breathe, remove yourself, and then go into that forgiveness mindset or bring up that forgiveness in your heart. Get out of here most of the time, guys. It's about moving here, forgiving yourself for saying things that you didn't mean, and then forgiving your teenager for them having a screaming match at you. Because everyone is in that moment, is in their feelings. And remember, all emotions are equal, whether it's joyfulness, sadness, frustration, anger, they're all equal. And it's about allowing those emotions to come out in a healthy way, okay? And being able to express those emotions. As I was growing up as a teenager, if I got angry, I was sent to my room. And so what did I do as an adult when I got angry? I went to my room. And so I wasn't allowed to be angry in a healthy way. And so, yeah, it's about forgiveness, because sometimes, we all get it wrong as parents, and we all say things that we didn't mean or do. So it's about stepping into your courage and going, right, I'm going to ask for forgiveness here because I really didn't mean that. And at the end of the day, we all love our children now, don't we? And it's about loving ourselves for who we are, as I say, warts and all. Because at the end of the day, all there is love. All there is compassion and kindness. It makes the world a more harmonious place to live in, and family. I would say the third one is setting really clear boundaries. Okay. Now, what I mean by boundaries, it's about, for example, if you are practicing forgiveness and empathy, or you're asking your teenager to practice empathy and forgiveness, it's about setting clear boundaries around that and communicating clearly the language of the virtue. Now, when I say language, what I mean by that is there's, for example, forgiveness. There's a certain language you use when you're asking for forgiveness. You know, there's a certain energy that is coming from you when you're asking for forgiveness. You know, it might be just going into your room and looking in the mirror and forgiving yourself as a parent, you know. So it's about when you're practicing and developing those within your teenagers, set really clear boundaries, communicate using the virtue language, and also stay consistent with that. It's really important to be consistent when it comes to creating harmony in the family. Because remember that in the DISC model, the high S style needs steadiness to the pace of their environment. Okay, so if you're inconsistent all the time when it comes to your parenting style, it's going to be very upsetting for a high S teenager, because they do require a steady pace to their environment, that they don't like rapid change at all. Okay, so so be consistent and also communicate clearly would be my three ingredients for creating a more happy, harmonious family environment.
Yeah, those are three amazing ingredients. If you're enjoying this video, be sure to leave a like and comment on this video, and make sure to subscribe as well. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Sandra?
Oh my goodness, I've just thought of one other. Am I allowed a fourth?
Yeah, sure. Well, who wouldn't like a bonus, right?
Oh, okay. This is a real quick one, guys. So I've used this with my teenagers, and it's a process for clearing the air, okay? And it's called a what I feel like saying process, or for short, I call it a whiffle, okay? Now, when is the right time to have a whiffle? The right time to have a whiffle is when something is not being said and you need to get it out, okay? You know, someone, that teenager or that father or whoever or you, is sitting on something that needs to be said. So what you do is you sit down and say, Vince, look, there's something that I really need to clear with you. I'd really like to have a whiffle with you, what I feel like saying. Are you okay with that? And so you bring each other together and you say, oh, man, you know what I feel like saying. And this is a feeling, guys. It's not a commentary of what happened moment by moment. It's how you're feeling in that moment. Oh, look, Vince, I'm really feeling upset by what I said to you this morning. And it really didn't come out the way that I wanted it to. And I know it seemed like it really upset you. And what I'd really like to ask is that you are willing to forgive me, because that's what I feel like saying. And you'll know when you've finished, because you'll feel more empty. It's about emptying your cup, okay? And then when your cup is empty, you'll feel it in your body. Oh, that's what I feel like saying. And then Vince will say to me, oh, thank you, Sandra. And then you will say, when he has acknowledged you, what do you feel like saying, Vince? And then Vince will say what he feels like saying, okay? And it's a feeling. Well, you know, this morning I didn't think you quite understood what I meant to say to you. And, you know, it did really frustrate me that you weren't listening to me, and whatever was there for you, Vince. And then you will go, oh, and, you know, I accept your apology. I forgive you, Sandra, you know, because really at the end of the day, I love you. You know, you're my child. or you're, you know, oh, mum, don't worry about it. I've always loved you, you know, from the moment that you were my mother, or whatever's there. And then you will say, oh, gosh, thank you, Vince. And then that's it. Now, can you see what amazing, like, what would come from that? Would that not create more harmony in the relationship?
Yeah,
You
for
know,
sure.
so yeah,
See that.
absolutely. You know, sometimes it might be quite good to end the week and start the week with a whiffle around the family table, you know, and see what happens. Oh, by the way, if you have a high C in the DISC behavioral model, analytical, quality conscious, very protective of their feelings and emotions, they may not want to share how they're feeling straight away. So I would encourage you to have another round and say, well, Vince, you know, like what I really feel like saying is, and then go through the process again. Might take a couple of rounds until that person feels safe enough or can find the feeling to begin with. Yeah. Because sometimes people avoid their feelings. They'll kind of check out. You know, like, I don't know if you've seen anyone that you're kind of speaking to, you know that they've got some things happening on with them inside, but they're kind of not there emotionally, and so sometimes it takes some time for them to get grounded in their body, and you move into the heart space and then really check out how they're feeling. Yeah. So that's kind of my bonus one.
Yeah, those are amazing ingredients and a bonus as well. And if you want to learn more about this, that we have a 5-day challenge, right? 5-day parenting challenge.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh,
we'll
check.
be sure to
Okay.
leave the link in the description below. And yeah.
And that's it. And now we kiss each one goodbye. This is our elephant kiss. See you next time, guys.